Hey everybody, so we're still working on validation. I actually had a comment today from someone who was just like, "Dude, why isn't your stuff in a playlist?" And it's like, "Oh man," because I this was the first one of the first web series I ever did, and I wasn't aware of playlists when I started this. I do try to number um, all of the all of these, so maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll upload all these videos to like my own website and just so they can all be in order or I don't know. I don't know exactly what to do about that. But anyways, it is good. It's a good problem because like I think I'm up to 294 subscribers now. Oh no, 194 subscribers now. So I'm closing in on 200 very quickly. I think I added four yesterday, either three or four yesterday. Let me look. Now I'm curious. Dashboard. Oh, 193 subscribers. So I think I added three subscribers yesterday. Um, it's actually very interesting to con- contrast with my wife's YouTube channel. So she has a TikTok channel that she has like 22,000 followers on, but her YouTube channel only has like 115 or 120. And she gets like way, 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 way more views than I do. I actually am the one who uploads to all to her YouTube side, but her most of her videos are only like 6 seconds long, so my video time is a lot longer. It's really interesting to watch the two. She has like 60% female, and I have 100% male. I know that that's not quite true because I know that I have at least one female subscriber. I know I have at least two female subscribers, but for some reason they don't come across as female. But the vast majority of people who watch my videos are guys, and then just over half the people that watch her videos are girls, um, and it's just interesting. Anyways, one day I'll have to do that, sit down. But so basically now what I want to do is I want to set like a way for me to send in what my um, what my uh, type is or what my path is or something, and it returns what kind of validation is for that. And by default, there'd be not no validation. So I created this yesterday. I only support two kinds of validation right now: positive floats and none. Um, and I do something kind of similar in animations. Let's see how I have these interface properties. And I don't know. I haven't enjoyed this very much. I have this supported property types, which is key, which was a string. And if I remember correctly, I couldn't make this of these the key of type, but and then but I was able to make that the types. But what I want to do is I want to be able to pass in a full path to a type. So in this specific situation, I would be uploading a basically scene and then uh, fog and then I don't know. Let's go look at this scene interface. So basically, yeah. So it'd be like a scene and then a fog density, and so for scene and fog density, it returns uh, positive uh, a positive float, and then for everything else, it returns none. Um, and I've seen schemes like this, like literally dozens of times in literally a half a dozen, maybe even a dozen different enterprise environments that I did not build. And I've seen back end implementations of this and front end implementations of this scheme where you're trying to sort of map a tree structure to a value, and they all suck. I mean, they all do, every last one of them. And the one I did for animations, it sucks, man. I don't like it. It just stinks. And yeah, the one I'm going to do for this is not going to be any better. I mean, I just don't know of a good way to do this. Um, Basically, I want to be able to be like, first, check this flattened thing out and see what the value is. Um, I remember like there were some fairly decent ones like in the early 90s that were based around directory structures, and they would sort of flatten the directory structure out and all that. But JavaScript objects don't work like that. Um, you can't send like the like when you used to be able to send like a whole directory structure, you can't really do that with a JavaScript object. So basically, so in my Showtime validation service, which is in utils, which is a little bit different than interfaces, um, and then that is not the service itself. Basically, I'm going to want some sort of function, and the function is going to be something like get validation type. And I don't know. I have two choices. I could have it like pass in like an array of strings, which I guess, or I could make it like some sort of piped string. I think it just make it an array of strings. So it accepts an array of strings, and it returns a validation types. Okay, and I don't know. Oh, I give it a name. Path. So basically, the idea is like for this, it would be like scene. It'd be an array of two things: scene and fog density. And then, so for my validation types, I need to import the interface so that it knows what that is. And then I'm going to just say if path. So this is what we're doing. This is not going to be the final code. Is equal to scene and and path 1 is equal to I think it's fog density. Then we're going to return positive float, a semicolon, else return none. So that's basically what we want to do for this very first one, and I believe it is fog density. Let me go look at that real quick. Yeah, fog density. Okay, so basically what I'm going to expect is an array that's got the very first, the top, which is scene, and the second one, which is fog density. And if it's anything other than that, and I guess I should add path and path dot length is equal to 2. And so we're going to have all of these sorts of things. This is what we need it to do. This is, like I said, clearly not the end of the code, but so like probably like I definitely do not like to have multiple exits from it, so I would probably want to say let validation type equal to none. And we're going to say that a validation type has to be a slash validation types, right? And so then we don't need this second one. And then we're going to say return type, and then we can just say validation type is equal to positive float. So, you know, so that's step one. And then there's probably a good way to do that is maybe say let const types is equal to something like this. I don't know. I'm just sort of brainstorming. Scene. Is that right? Is that what I want to do? I want the key to be scene. Colon. Okay, let types equals that. I don't know what to do. This is probably not going to like this. Types dot scene is equal to is equal to an object that has fog density. That's what I just don't even know how to do this. Fog density. Colon. And so let's make this scene. And then make that positive float. And get rid of that. And then we could say validation type is equal to. Yeah, see, I don't know. I don't know what to do about this. I think I'm just going to go with this and hope for a little bit of inspiration when we do the next couple. So basically, this function checks to see, it gets a path, which is a string. It checks to see if the length is 2, and then if the length is 2, then and so that's probably like, I guess if you're looking into the future, you could say basically, since we know there's going to be other ones, we could then add this in here. And then we just say we know the path is 2, so path 0. And like I said, I know if you fill in a sick filling inside about this code, I'm with you. I just don't know, but like I said, I've seen these sorts of things implemented by lots and lots of people over the years, and just none of them have been good. They've all just been hacky. And like I said, that we used to get pretty kind of stuff kind of like this for like menuing systems in directories and things like that, and they were pretty good. And then we probably even want to get this even farther deeper in, because since we know we're going to have more than one scene, we can say like if And then maybe we could like say, like if path zero seen get, because so a lot of times what happens when you get these big nested um, sorts of things like this, you'll fail what's called gosh, it's such a neat name, um, but it's a complexity sort of thing, and then what you need to do is sort of break these into their own functions. So like you could be like if path and path length equals 2, then um, you could be like get uh, get uh, single depth for attribute, and then in there you could check to see if it's a scene. You can say, oh, get scene attribute validation types, and then um, and sort of really make it less complex from like you don't have to figure this whole thing out, so like because this is basically an indicator that it's a single depth. So you know so and you could even do that. You could say like is single depth, and you get the path, which is an array of strings. You could just be like if path and path dot length is equal to 2, and then you could be like turn false or true, right? And then you would say that this was a Boolean, and you could say else return false, and that way you can you could say like there, and so now that reads a lot better, and then that is a little bit better, and then you say equals false. Generally, I find that the biggest argument about sort of breaking things up in this fashion is that a lot of people will say, "Oh, it's going to take it longer because I have to run through all these," and that's bull. Not in Angular, anyways, because in Angular, this will all be like if you looked at the minified code, it gets rid of all this stuff. It smushes all this down. So it becomes more readable, and then next you could say uh, if path is equal to scene, you could say like get scene and get scene things, or you could say if is scene and then get scene validation type and update that. So I'll probably continue with that tomorrow. I am kind of what they would call putting lipstick on a pig. I don't really like it. I feel like it is a little bit more digestible and like aesthetically pleasing with this sort of is single deep. Oh, path two. It would be fun, for young developers sort of dig through that and say, oh, it is single deep. And then I don't know if single is the right word. It's probably one, even though one doesn't quite sound as good. at the beginning, but if we ended up getting 10 deep or whatever, it's easier to to just sort of scale. It's a little bit more scalable than single, double, triple, quadruple, quintuple, whatever. Uh, where you go from there, 1, 2 is 2 deep, is 3 deep, is 4 deep. It's a little bit easier. Um, and then, like I said, we can then say uh, is scene node, something like that, and get a true or false on that if the path 0 is equal to scene, and then get for scene or whatever, get validation for scene. And the other real nice thing about this is it would be very, very, very simple to unit test all these things and catch things that might be broken. And this probably is the kind of code that you would want to have like heavy unit testing around. But that's that. 21 minutes. It's kind of long. I guess, yeah, it's like, I think Mondays and Wednesdays are probably going to be the days that I generally will run long videos. But I will try to keep them shorter. Talk to you later. Bye.